Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody who's on the call today. As this is our very first Rotary Master class, we're going to have it we're going to have these once a month, and they're going to be about topics. You know, some have to do with, you know, specifically with Rotary. Others are about personal development, but it is something that we think is going to be exciting for everybody in the district, and hopefully over the year, you'll be involved in as many of the, if not all of these topics that we choose. This first one, personal vision in a Rotary world, we felt finding why, you know, what makes you so excited about, about fellowship and service. To me, that's what Rotary is about, and that's kind of what this gets at. What, you know, what's the reason that you're involved in Rotary? We have two excellent facilitators today. They are Jill Pietrusinski, who is the basically new club innovation advocate in Zone 31. She's an assistant Rotary coordinator, and she's a past district governor in 6510, 2017, 2018. I'm sorry, can you hear? Then along with Jill is Rita Esterly. Rita also was a past district governor, 2011, 2012, and last year she was a International Assembly training leader this past January, and also she's the regional. She's also the Rotary coordinator for Zone 31, and she was one of two persons who trained our visioning team 3 years ago, and did a wonderful job of getting us off to a great start in visioning in this district. And I want to thank both Jill and Rita for putting this together. So thank you both. And now I will turn it over to Jill or Rita? I shall turn over to Rita.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you so much for those wonderful and generous introductions. We're just so thrilled to be here with you all tonight and to share some ideas about your personal vision in a Rotary world. You know, when you know the reason that you're doing something, then whatever you're doing is more impactful because it has a purpose. So Dana, let's start with a poll. What was the major reason you joined Rotary? Someone asked you, someone in your family was a Rotarian, you wanted to join an organization for networking, or maybe you wanted to do community service, or you wanted to meet more people, or something else. Just go ahead and choose and then submit.
Okay, we've got about 80% of the vote, so I'm going to give you just a few more seconds. We have 85%. If anybody else wants to vote, go ahead and do that real quickly. Great, thank you. That's 90%. So I'm going to go ahead and end the poll, and I'm going to share the results.
All right, we have varied reasons for joining Rotary. So many different reasons for becoming a Rotarian. You want to take the poll down? Let's start off by watching a video of a comedian. His name is Michael Jr., and he explains a concept of knowing why you're doing what you do. And remember, this is a comedian, and his presentation may be a little unique, but listen to the very end message, and we'll talk about that when we get back from watching it. Jill, would you please run the video? I wonder if Jill still there? She might have gotten knocked off the form.
No, Jill's there. Jill, are you trying to run the video?
Can you not hear it?
No, we don't
No,
see.
can't see
You
it.
don't see it or hear it.
Oh, well, it would help if I would share the screen. Let's try that one again. Sorry about that. I was a step ahead of myself.
If you know, like for instance,
Hang on a second, I'll relaunch it. Sorry about that.
how do I know? A lot of people, when they think of the phrase, how do I know, they always want to put the what behind it. How do I know what I'm supposed to do? The question that you really should ask is, how do I know why I'm here? Because when you know your why, your what becomes more clear and more impactful. If you know, like for instance, people know that I do comedy, but that's what I do. My why is to inspire people to walk in purpose. So I can do comedy, I can write books, I can be in a movie, because all of it is motivated by my why. In fact, I have a new web series out called Michael Jr. Break Time. We probably just did the 6th episode. It's on YouTube. So every single Wednesday at 3 o'clock, we drop a new episode on YouTube of Michael Jr. Break Time. What it is it's me. I travel around the country and I do stand-up comedy, in case you didn't know. And in the middle of my comedy set sometime, I'll stop and just talk to my audience. And we've been filming this, and it's pretty cool. So we're in Winston-Salem. I'm gonna show you a clip from Winston-Salem. And I'm just talking to this guy in the audience, and he tells me that he's a musical instructor at a school. So I was like, all right, you're a musical instructor, can you sing? Let me hear you sing a song. So this is what happened at the last episode of Michael Jr.'s Break Time. Check it. So you're a musical director? Cool.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let me get a couple bars of like Amazing Grace. Can you do the first part of that? Go ahead.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Wow. That bro could sing, you know what I'm saying? All right. Now, what you give me the version is if your uncle just got out of jail, you got shot in the back when you was a kid. I'm just saying, let me see the hood version real quick, if you know which version I'm talking about. Just see if that exists. Let me see what you got.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I see.
Okay, here's what I want you to catch. The first time I asked him to sing, he knew what he was doing. The second time, he knew why he was doing it. When you know your why, your what becomes more impactful because you're walking towards or in your purpose.
Thank you, Jill. What a powerful statement Michael Jr. said. He said, when you know your why, your what becomes more impactful because you're walking towards or in your purpose. Let's look at that concept that Michael just told us in terms of Rotary's mission statement. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. So as you think of the reason you joined Rotary, let's reflect on if that reason is still current or if it has changed since you joined Rotary. So here's another poll. My reason for joining Rotary currently is the same as when I joined. It has changed since I joined. Or gee, I never contemplated that before. Or I do not know my why for staying in Rotary. Go ahead and choose and then submit.
Okay, we have 85% of the vote.
Okay, it's changed since you joined. Well, Jill is now going to talk about your purpose or the why seen through our 7 areas of focus. Jill?
Thank you, Rita. So whether your reason has changed or not, or whether you've never pondered it, you still have a reason for being part of this organization. And as you become involved in Rotary, the expansion of that reason has probably started to grow. You know, you became a part of an organization, but you went from a me to an us. So at first you might have said, my club. But after you were in the club for a little while, you might have started using the word our club. You began living out the first word of the mission statement, which is together. And perhaps you became involved in some of the projects of Rotary, like a global grant or our youth programs, or maybe you joined a Rotary action group with some shared interests. But you began to realize that there's not just an us who are members of our club, but there's actually an all of us who belong to the whole Rotary organization. You know, we have 200 countries around the world that are part of Rotary International. So much larger than that, even though it's realizing that your investment in Rotary not only gave you personal development and growth, but it has changed communities around the globe. And that is the greater us. You live out Rotary's mission statement when you're doing the work of Rotary, whether it's across the globe, in your community, or within yourself. So this afternoon, we want to narrow that look a little bit at how you can use the 7 areas of focus in Rotary to enhance your personal development by dreaming how you can manifest your reason or your why for being in Rotary through the areas of focus, while at the same time thinking of the greater us. And the people who benefit from our areas of focus receive hope, have hope for survival, hope for a better life. When you engage in the areas of focus, you create hope in others who are the greater us. So as we move forward, we want to put you to work a little bit. We're going to be sending you into breakout rooms, and Dana has been working diligently behind the scenes to get you set up into small groups. And here's what we're going to ask of you while you're in the small group. First of all, we need someone to volunteer to be the group leader. And we want you to lead the group by sharing the 7 areas of focus, just by reading those. So if you want to take a quick camera shot, you can do that. Dana is also going to be sharing this into each of your breakout rooms, so you'll have a copy of it. In the breakout, what we want you to do is to share with each other how your own personal why can be manifested through one or maybe more of the areas of focus. So in other words, share how your area of focus can fulfill your why or reason for being in Rotary. So does anyone have any questions about what you'll be doing in your breakout? If you have a question, just quick raise your hand or you can type in chat. But pretty straightforward. We want you to do a little self-reflection. Now we're going to ask you to be in this activity for 15 minutes. And you'll be surprised how quickly that goes. So Dana will actually send you a 1-minute warning. So if the 1-minute warning pops up, just go ahead and wrap it up. So in just a second, Dana will be sending you to breakout. You may have to click a join breakout room on your screen or device. And with that, we will see you in 15 minutes.
You should see a message on your screen and just click join.
Dana, you're sending us to breakouts as well. I don't think we want to do that. So I'm going to say, I'm going to say later. And Steve just ended up going to breakouts. So you usually don't send the moderators to breakout. So we need to find Steve and probably pull him back.
Can you take the screen share down?
Oh, sorry about that.
Thank you.
So I need to get Anna Maria and Barbara.
Okay, I'm going to put my timer on.
We still have Anna Marie, but looks like she's not in a breakout, Dana.
So, there. She just had to click join.
Yeah, and then we just need to find Steve.
Now we need to broadcast the message.
Yeah, oh, sorry. So, yeah.
Okay, so I broadcast the message. I set my timer for 14 minutes so that when my timer goes off, I can broadcast 1 minute remaining.
Do you want to try to find Steve and bring him back? Or do you want to just let him participate?
I think I'll just let him participate.
That might be a good thing for our governor to do.
Yeah. And interestingly, he went to breakout room 3, which would have also been you all. So he's in a room with 2 other people, 3 total. I didn't think to tell him not to click join, but in a way I'm glad now because otherwise it would have been 2 people in there.
So how many people so far have logged in? I wasn't counting.
I think it was 26 when I checked the last time.
And I think your recording is still going. You may want to pause your recording.
Okay, thank you.
And then you can resume. So did 15 minutes go quickly?
Yep.
It's amazing how.
Yes, it did.
That's great. That means you were having some intense discussions, which is exactly what we were looking for. So in this breakout, you generated some ways that you can fulfill your why through the 7 areas of focus. It's not without our core values of leadership, integrity, diversity, fellowship, and service that we can manifest those ways of getting to our why. Taking responsibility for fulfilling our own personal dreams of what we want in Rotary is our own responsibility. It's up to us. So let me ask you a question and we'll have you just share a couple of your thoughts. So what we'd like you to do is type your answer in the chat box. What is the one thing that you can do to enhance your own reason for being in Rotary, given what you just experienced? So I'll say that again. What is the one thing that you can do to enhance your own reason for being in Rotary based on what we just did? Let's have you type your answers in chat, and we'll share. MJ said, stay engaged and connected. Rick shared network. Larry, lead by example and ask others to volunteer. Mike Brown, to learn as much about a specific area that I'm interested in. Bob Foster said, get more involved. Nancy, participate as much as possible. Diane shared, open my eyes to the needs in my community beyond our traditional service projects. Joe shared, explore everything about Rotary to see where you want to work. Price, help bring more people to Rotary so they can experience what I have experienced. Donald, don't be a rhino. Does everyone know what a rhino is? Donald, you want to share what a rhino stands for?
Rotary in name only.
There you go. Stay engaged and not sit idly by. Sandy, continue to engage and say yes to Rotary. Barbara, continue to highlight our goals and vision. Steve, I can perform more service to lead by example. Mike Knoll, invite a friend to find Rotary. Stacy, invite guests to join us. Cecilia, keep other Rotarians engaged who are less active and be sure that I say yes more than no. And Brandy said, take ownership of my own involvement. So Brandy summed it up as well as I could have. Your Rotary experience, your why, is up to you. And so often when we look at being engaged in Rotary, we look externally. If you look in the mirror and see, sometimes by giving, I receive. And what you'll find if we reflect back on our mission statement, the change you find may be within yourself. So thank you for participating in our breakout. One last from Christy, help others to connect at this crazy time. So we need to maybe take a little extra effort and help others find their why by sharing ours. And with that, I will hand it back to Rita. You want to unmute?
Sorry, I didn't want to be rustling papers or anything. So thank you, Jill. Tonight, you have experienced dreaming about how to fulfill your why through the areas of Rotary. You can do that with every personal aspect of your life. Simple. You can do it with your church by finding your why and then an aspect within your church that will help you fulfill your why. You know, your Rotary Club can do the same thing. Your club can go through a process of creating a vision for fulfilling some dreams about why it exists and what it wants to accomplish. We call that process club visioning. And your district participates in the International Visioning Facilitations Council's program called Club Visioning. We are happy to report, Jill and I, that soon we will be able to do club visioning virtually. Your visioning facilitation team works with your club to dream about how the club can become more vibrant and more dynamic if they use creative ideas and implement them. Well, during the process, a group of Rotarians from your club will generate some ideas. Then the ideas will be voted on so that you get a consensus. And then goals are created into a 3-year master plan. And for each of those goals that you create, you do an action plan so that you can carry out or operationalize those goals. And we hope that you will call upon your district governor, Steve, to give you more information about that process. So right now, Jill and I would like to ask, are there any questions about what we've done tonight, about the reason that you're in Rotary and your why and your purpose, or anything about club visioning. We are ready for questions. You may put them in the chat if you do not want to raise your hand and unmute and ask us the question. That would be fine too.
Yeah, I don't know, Rita, you and Jill have done this before. What do you find that the participants of a program like this, where do they end up? I mean, as far as, is there any, are we going to do a survey afterwards to see if any of us have, you know, been able to take our why and, you know, and basically will it make our Rotary vision more powerful because we've thought about our why? Have you guys done a survey like that to see what the outcome is once a learning, you know, a masterclass like this has been done?
I think that's an excellent idea, Steve. Doing a Survey Monkey and send out to the participants to see, like in a month or two, or maybe even 3, if they found their why and if their why has made a difference in how they interact or engage in Rotary. I think that's a great idea. If you want to follow through with that, that'd be wonderful for your district.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a couple of questions in chat, and I believe both of them are referring to the virtual club visioning that you asked about. So I'm excited that you're excited that it's coming. We're part of a pilot program right now, and we will do a 3rd club, I think, within the next 30 days. So long answer, we're going to have that out hopefully within this quarter. That's kind of the goal. So hopefully by going into the 4th quarter of the calendar year, we'll have that ready to go. We're just piloting a couple of options.
Don, you have a question?
Yeah.
You know, this sounds like a great opportunity at the club level, say at a club assembly, to have every member get up and say why they're in Rotary. Because I think a lot of them lose focus. And if you can take that opportunity to find out why everybody's in Rotary, then you can sit there and channel the energy of your members to certain areas. Okay, if you end up with half of your club why is the same thing, then your club activities should be geared towards that, and you could do that at a club assembly.
That's a great idea.
I think Rick has his hand up. Rick, you'll need to unmute.
Yeah, there. Just a question. I think if I understood the way that this was set up, the Master Series, and I think some of this might have been answered along the way, but could someone elaborate on if there's going to be other sessions like this? Kind of how do they all fit together, or, you know, what is the plan for additional series where we have, you know, Zoom meetings like this?
I think that's a question
Dana?
for Dana.
Mm-hmm.
For our district trainer?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So this is our first ever, but we are going to have one every month. And we selected topics based upon some surveys that we had administered earlier, several months ago, when we were looking at district assembly and things like that. So we've scheduled out our first 3 months, but we also are creating a district training team, and we'll work with the team to probably do some additional surveying and make sure that we're bringing to you what it is that the membership wants. So I will put in a plug too, if anybody else is interested in working on the district training team, just to reach out to me. So far we have 4 people. So that's where it is now. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
I have.
And
Go ahead, MJ. I'm sorry.
So I just wanted to go back to what Don was talking about. Our club actually did that. I had our club members fill out the reason I joined Rotary and the reason I stayed in Rotary or stay in Rotary. And so we actually used that as a great marketing campaign. So we would post pictures of that Rotarian on Facebook and then say, this is why I joined, this is why I stayed. So you can do an awful lot of great things with, if you had them stand up or put it on a card. I mean, you really build the momentum and maybe even get new members involved or get new members, period, if you shared those reasons, those why reasons with the community. So, but yeah, that's a great idea.
Great idea for public image. Thank you, MJ.
I have a question, Margie. We went through visioning last year. In fact, Steve was involved in that. So I guess my question is, the one you're developing now is, and it was a great exercise for our club. And of course, you know, we've got the next few years to work on it, but is yours going to be similar to what we were presented? Or Steve, do you know the answer? Or
Yes.
okay, Rita.
Part of doing with the new visioning that we're rolling out virtually is adding a component that we felt was missing in the visionings that we've done in the past. And that is we generate a consensus of ideas that people would like to change into goals. But we have never given the process of, let's develop your goals, your master plan, and then your action plans from that. And so the new one that we're creating, especially with the virtual visioning, is being able to give you those tools that will allow you to take the excitement of generating those wonderful and amazing ideas and then operationalizing them. So that's the new part of what we're doing with the visioning that's rolling out in the future.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
And actually,
Don, you got,
How do you get on the list? How do you get on the schedule for that vision?
Talk to your AG, Larry. Get a hold of Gary.
Okay.
Don.
Do they cover the visioning with the president-elects? Because when they go to the PE classes, they go back to the club all fired up. Do you share the visioning process with them for them to go back to the club and get them fired up?
I can certainly make that happen, Dawn. Yeah.
Because it has to start at the top, you know. I mean, and the club PE is wanting to, you know, really do a good job, and if they've got something they can sink their teeth into and get their club involved in, it might be a good idea to teach them that.
Yeah. So they've actually got some material. Dana put together a great learning plan for the president-elects this year, and so that's not necessarily a vision, but there's a strategic planning tool in that kit that they've gotten. So that would be a great starting point to start working on a strategic plan. And if they needed the visioning, then to kind of enhance that and build that, and you could develop the strategic plan from the visioning session for sure. So they've been giving those tools. So yeah, thank you.
Well, Larry, did you have something else you wanted to say? Larry, you got cut off. I can't hear you.
Sorry, I'm on mute. I think MJ answered it. I wanted to find out who to speak with to get on the schedule for this since it's coming out.
Okay. Hey, thanks. Yeah. Well, yeah, everybody who's on this tonight will definitely be on the schedule. But all the Rotarians in the district will be notified that when the next one is, and we'll be asked to register. Sandy, did you have anything you wanted to say?
I just wanted to ask if, given the COVID-19 pandemic and a lot of the visioning that happened was based on a pre-pandemic world, not a pandemic world that we're currently experiencing. Clubs gone back and tried to take a look at their their goals and revise them based on, the current world in which we're living? Just curious.
One of the things that might be important to you, Sandy, is to join in our membership seminar that we're going to have. It's a leadership seminar on Saturday. There's a whole bunch of ideas about engagement in online and being able to attract online, and then new member orientation for those people that you might have gotten into your club. So that might be something that you want to go to the Zone website and sign up for this Saturday. You might get some ideas there about how to switch what you did in the visioning prior and then into a new model of online. So do you have?
And let me just say that.
Yeah, and I guess I'm thinking more of retaining the members. I mean, I know we need to recruit more members, but it's easier to retain the ones if you can keep them engaged. So that's my focus, at least at this point in time. But I will, definitely put that down.
Yeah, that's the first piece of what we're going to talk about. It's a 3 series kind of things in one morning. We're going to say, how can we engage our people right now? And then, okay, so we have our members, current members engaged. Now, how can we attract more members? And then, okay, now that we've attracted more members, how can we keep those new members engaged? So it's kind of a sequence of things that we're going to talk about on Saturday morning.
And let me just say that you can register for that if you go to our district website or our DAC-TV homepage. Mike Brown has put that on the homepage, and so you can register for that by going to our District 6690 homepage, either Rotary6690.org or the DAC-TV website. So you do not even have to go to the Zone website to register.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Mike Brown. Making it easy.
Well, thank you all for your participation and your questions. We hope that you found this introspection of value to take your Rotary journey to the next level. So Dana, I think I'm handing it over to you.
Yes, thank you, Jill. I just wanted to remind everybody about next month. Our Rotary Masterclass series is going to be team building activities. We'll do one in the actual meeting, but we'll have a list of different team building activities that you can take back, ranging from a couple of minutes to an hour. So if you wanted that you can do virtually. So if you wanted to try some of these and build some time for fellowship, that would be great. So that will be August 11th. Okay. You'll see some information coming on that. I'll turn it to you, Steve.
Okay, and I just want to thank everybody who attended this. This is a new venture, new initiative in our district, and I want to thank Jill and I want to thank Rita for putting this together. I mean, I couldn't have, thank you, really, thank you very much, because the two of them, I mean, Jill, you're on vacation. I mean, they really worked hard to put this together for us, and I'm very appreciative. And I want to thank all of you. I mean, like I say, this is the people on this are the committed, and basically every organization starts with the committed, and then as people see the enjoyment and the worth of the committed, it fans out and brings everybody else in. So I thank you all for being on this. Hopefully you enjoyed it. You'll try to be on August 11th. Again, as Jill said, on Saturday, please, there's the Zone summer seminar. It's from 10 to 11:30 Eastern Daylight Time, about membership and engagement. If not you, please mention it to your membership chair of your club and others who are interested in membership and engagement. And I want to say, have a great evening, and thank you again. And really, if you have any questions, email me and I'll try and get them answered. No question about it. So thank you again. Have a great evening.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jill. Thanks, Rita.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Dana.
Dana.
Thanks, Jill. Thanks,
Dana,
Dana.
you want to stay on for 2 minutes?
Sure.
I don't know, Price and Ed, you guys want to stay on for 2 minutes? Or did Price already left?
You lost? Yeah, you didn't say it fast enough. I can stay.
I didn't say it fast enough. Anyways, really, Jill and Rita and Jill, thank you guys. This was really
Really good.
nice. I mean, I thought it went very well, timing wise.
Yeah.
The breakout, the polls. So it wasn't just one long, someone talking to everybody. You guys really did it. Obviously, you know what you're doing, and you really set it up so that it flowed. I mean, the hour just went, I thought.
Yeah. I love the video, so that was a great beginning to the whole conversation. So thank you for sharing the video. Yeah, that was strong.
Right.
I got goose pimples, like my hair was standing up on end when he was singing.
Right. Yeah.
Felt like I was in church. It was great.
I got a new member.
Because when you see the beginning of the video, you don't know where it's going. I mean, you know what he's saying, but you don't really understand where that video is going.
Yeah.
Until, he hasn't sing it, and that's fine. And then they just sing it again, and it's like, oh, wow, yeah. That's what's so nice. There's that surprise in my mind.
Yeah.
It makes it so good.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy that you're happy. So thank you for asking us. We appreciate you asking your zone leaders to be involved in what you're doing. So we definitely appreciate